What will be your number one policy recommendation to achieve pension adequacy for all?
We live in challenging times. As the High Representative of the Union, Josep Borrell, said the other day, we relied on cheap energy from Russia, cheap products from China, and security being provided by the United States. Our business model needs to be reinvented. We need a new business model for Europe, and capital markets will play a crucial role in funding that new business model. For this, I think it is very important that we empower citizens to invest their pensions and savings via cost-efficient products into our economy and really provide the growth and welfare for future generations.
We believe that the adequacy of social protection systems, and specifically pensions, can be ensured through the paritarian model in Europe. For this, the involvement of the social partners in the design and implementation of social protection policies is fundamental. Paritarian institutions guarantee social equity through the participation of workers and employers and through good comprehension of people's needs. In this context, in order to increase pension adequacy for the future, a constructive dialogue between decision makers and social partners remains crucial.
The best way to increase adequacy of European pension systems would be to promote funded pensions. The problem is that in several European countries, pay-as-you-go first pillar pensions are too much burdensome and costly in terms of contributions, especially for young generations who cannot afford to pay into complementary pensions. Probably the only solution would be to reduce part of the contributions to the pay-as-you-go first pillar pensions, at least for young generations, and to divert those contributions to funded pensions.
Many people in Europe do not really enjoy dealing with their pension provisions, and this holds especially true for mobile workers who have worked and lived in several countries. One policy option for increasing pension adequacy is to help people understand their pension rights and facilitate access to their pension entitlements. The European Tracking Service, ETS, believes that more transparency on pensions is needed to create awareness and guide better decisions. We therefore support mobile workers by helping them find their pensions, informing them about the European pension landscapes, and activating them to deal with their pensions.
To secure adequate pensions in the future, people should be encouraged to supplement their public pensions with private retirement savings. Some of the measures included in the CMU Action Plan of the Commission will help people realize and better understand the need to save in occupational pension schemes and personal pension products. These include pension dashboards, which give a comprehensive overview of the adequacy of national pension systems, and individual pension tracking systems that provide citizens with a view of their future retirement income. In addition, experience in many countries shows that enrolling people into an occupational pension plan with an opt-out option is an effective way to overcome people's inertia when it comes to saving for their retirement.
We have entered a new era of what economists call financial repression. In short, keeping nominal interest rates lower and today much lower than inflation, putting the bond portfolios of all pension savings products under unprecedented pressure. Better Finance estimates real losses for Eurozone savers at about 1 trillion euros for 2022 alone. Join us on 30th November at the European Retirement Week to discuss pension adequacy and value for money in times of financial repression.
In 2 words, facilitate digitalization. We believe digitalization can be a real game changer. And while we do not want to leave anybody behind, it is very clear that the key targets and focus groups now are millennials and Gen Z. And to reach them, really, they expect no less from us than reaching out to them digitally. Now, for this to be possible, we need regulation to change, and we need to get rid of paper as a default option. And finally, we really know that this is also what people want. Our pension survey that Insurance Europe conducted last year very clearly showed that this is the preference, so let's go for it.
We need pension funds to invest in asset classes that can provide real returns to pensioners. Private equity, infrastructure, and venture capital can do that. But let me add another point. Retirement is not only about pensions, the money. It's also about quality of life for retirees. Europeans are living much longer lives these days. So, we also need solutions for investments in the ever-growing silver economy. We need more and better age tech, therapeutics, and longevity solutions. With investments in the right innovations, we can meet the needs of the upper quadrant of Europe's changing demographics, as well as delivering returns on pensions.
Let me first start by congratulating the organizers of European Retirement Week. I think that is essential. Well, if you ask me about adequate pensions in Europe, 2 points are essential. First is clear and transparent information about one's pension, because of course we have the different parts of the pension, both public and private, that needs to be built up. But clear information is essential, and maybe we should have a policy for that. Secondly, to understand that information, it is essential that you have basic financial education and that you start early, so that you not only realize what your pension is when you're about to retire, but that you start at school by understanding the basics of financial education, but then also later when there are life events, when you get a new job or you buy your house, that you realize that if you want to prolong your stay and you need to plan your life, you need to plan your retirement. And these two are the most important, and I'm happy that they're at the forefront of this year's Retirement Week.
My policy recommendation to increase pension adequacy is to increase coverage of funded pensions. It's clear that the social security pensions will decrease for many, if not most, in the future, and to secure adequate pensions, people need to save more and save early enough. Funded pensions offer the best solution for good retirement income, and today too many people in Europe are not covered. We need to increase coverage.
As the association representing Europe's wholesale markets, AFME's #1 recommendation for achieving pension adequacy is to put the interest of end investors at the heart of Europe's secondary markets by advancing the Capital Markets Union project. Diverse and competitive secondary markets provide deep pools of liquidity that reduce the cost of transactions for pension funds, asset managers, and other investors. They are therefore fundamental in helping citizens to achieve higher returns on their investments and providing a comfortable retirement. As Europe faces a growing demographic challenge that will put pressure on public budgets and state pension systems, building up a strong capital markets is therefore key to addressing this challenge and supporting Europe's long-term prosperity.
We are living in times of soaring costs of living. This means that older people spend more and more on health care. Some other cannot properly heat their apartments. In the most extreme cases, they even have to move out of their homes. This is why we stand for improvement of social protection in old age. For example, through pensions, through adequate pensions which are based on adequate indexation. We should altogether end poverty in old age. We stand for equality across the life cycle.